It has been an absolutely awesome week in Sulfur. A big patch came out that corrected a lot of things, made a lot of changes. If you read the patch notes, there was something in there, something very tiny, but something very big if you're an optimist like me, and that was information on the release of Deep Woods. That's right, in the patch notes it said Deep Woods and Fortress are coming soon. Now, I don't know what to take of putting them together like that. That would be kind of insane to get both at the same time, especially when they're in different places on the roadmap, because we have Deep Woods and then Guns and Magic, and then Fortress comes after that. I'm not sure why they put them together unless things have changed. Let me just say I highly doubt they'll be released together, because you'd have to be skipping over Guns and Magic or add Guns and Magic into that to have like the biggest patch in Sulfur history. Granted, it hasn't been that long, but it's still been a pleasant time in the few months. I guess it's been what, like almost 4 or 5 months since we've had Sulfur? It feels like it's only been a couple of weeks. I mean, time has been flying with this game. We're already on to the SULFUR Summary, week 4. That's the 4th edition of Sulfur Talk. Once a week. I promised it. I've kept my promise. But yes, it did say coming soon, and I actually reached out to the devs, and I heard back about Deep Woods. I'll get into that a bit later, because it's kind of has to do with the comment that I read on the last Susu. We'll get in there. There's a lot to talk about. I want to go over the patch and everything that was in it, the Valentine's Day patch, kind of. It feels weird to call it a Valentine's Day patch, really, because it was more of a durability patch. Now, when I saw it, and I saw the Steal Their Hearts and everything, and the Jar of Love, which we don't have to get into any more gross jokes about that. We all have our own jars of love, and we all love them dearly. It's not what you think it is. It's like a bomb grenade, sort of like the poison jar that you throw at enemies, but it charms them, and that's pretty great. Charm is OP. The fact that it works 100% of the time if you hit them with it makes it a really good throwable, but it feels weird that that was the highlight of the patch, because what they did for the durability, in my opinion, was way more important. It should have been called like the durability patch, not the Valentine. I guess it was just like love was in the air and they felt like celebrating it. But it felt a little lackluster if you were to call it a holiday patch. And the fact that a holiday takes the front and center of it makes it look like it was supposed to be a holiday patch. I mean, that's the vibe I got when I saw it. I was like, oh, it's another Happy Holidays patch. That was such an amazing update. We got a new gun, a bunch of new gameplay mechanics with the Christmas presents and everything, and just for it to just mostly be a durability patch and a couple of quality of life things that were addressed, which I really enjoy, like the skippable cutscenes when you go to the amulet charge stations. That's huge. That's awesome, because I straight up avoided most of them except for town, because I didn't want to watch the cutscene every time, because I'm not getting any new information. It really was never important. So the fact that they added that is amazing, and I'm super happy that they did. It wasn't really a holiday patch. Does that mean we should expect holiday-themed items going forward? Maybe. I mean, we got St. Patrick's Day coming up, and since they like all these, like, worldly foods, you know, you see foods from everywhere. You got cheeseburgers, and you got, I think there's, like, some rice dishes in there. Now, there's a lot of different foods. Most of them I can't pronounce because I'm just a filthy American, and I'm not even willing to look up the translation. So I'll just keep mispronouncing them, and you keep on your way. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something for St. Patrick's Day, especially with the bars in town and all the beer and stuff, the wine, the stouts, everything that's in the game already. Maybe we'll even see Deep Woods for St. Patrick's Day. Now, that would be some real luck of the Irish. I'm so sorry, I'll eat a bullet in game. I shouldn't say that. But that's not the most important part of that update. That update is further proof that Perfect Random are the perfect people to be in charge of Sulfur. Of course, it's their baby, but it's one thing to make a great game, which they did with Sulfur. Anybody that's played it for more than a few hours can see how special it really is. It's another thing to straight up just listen to your fan base at all times. They're changing things that are being requested very frequently. Last week, I know I upset a couple of people by saying, oh, it sucks that it was empty and everything. I will get into that because I didn't mean to upset anyone with that. I was trying to ham it up, have a little fun. I like to ham it up and have a little fun. But in reality, outside of hamming, it's serious. Right now, I'm going to be very serious with you right now. This is going to be scary for you. It's going to be scary for me. I can't think of a time I saw devs being this receptive to information that they're getting from their community, and it's great to see. I don't know if it's because it's not like a bazillion people like Fortnite coming at you with all these ideas and suggestions, or if the Sulfur community is just a bunch of geniuses. I think it's the latter. I think we're all a bunch of geniuses and we know what the game should have. I I'm shook that the workbench thing, so you could take off weapon attachments, was never even supposed to be a part of the game. But enough people were like, I want to swap around the attachments, that they just threw it in there. That's amazing. The storage update was something that sorely needed addressed. I have a theory that they were working on that before the game came out, but the fact that they rushed it to make sure that people were able to keep enjoying the game and add new stuff to their arsenal over time and everything, the fact that they did that so early on is crazy to me. And then they come out with this durability thing, because non-stop complaints about durability and the oils making things complicated. Stuff like the Rokua was basically unusable if you ranked it up. That got triple the durability. That was a huge buff for the Rokua. Rokua fans out there, I love you because you're me, and you should love yourself. That's an important thing. Back to the series, that's an important thing. Make sure to love yourself, because there's only one of you, and you matter. Because you're a sulfur enjoying. I'm just... Seriously. The fact that we've had 3 patches that aren't even a part of the roadmap. They're just things that they want to give us so that we keep enjoying Sulfur and we want to keep coming back every day. It blows my mind. And I just want to give a big kudos to them for that. That was awesome. The patch was a surprise, as they always are. I mean, they always just pop up out of nowhere. At the same time, it's still proof that they are listening. And if you go in the Discord, you can have conversations with them. That's the Sulfur official Discord. You can have conversations with the devs, mostly Sklet. He's a great guy. He's super chill all the time. He's always cracking jokes. He's like, I always look at him as like the press, the face of press for Sulfur, because he's always like the one that's front and center, responding to people, actually talking to them. I mean, it's crazy to see. There's only 4 of them, and they're making sure to do all these things lightning fast. I can't imagine how much of a toll it's taking on them, and guys, we really appreciate it. I think it's important to mention that we really appreciate it. For anyone that I may have upset with my comments last week, I just want to make it totally clear that I'm obviously a supporter of this game, and I wasn't asking for weekly updates, as in game updates. I was asking for, like, I guess you'd call it like a dev diary or a dev blog every week. If we're good, I mean, we'll be good, Perfect Random, if you just come out and talk to us a little bit. It doesn't even have to be that important. Some of it could be stuff that they're going in, like personal stuff, things that they enjoy. I mean, I don't know. I just have fun with it. That's what I do with the SULFUR Summary. I would love to see something like that. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying we need game updates every week. I was saying updates, but in the liner notes of what I was saying, the small text, the subtext, I was saying just conversations from the devs about what they're working on. I know I'm not the only one. That's what I'm saying. I know there's plenty of people that would love to hear how the development of Sulfur is going, because we've all grown very attached to this game. Once again, because it's special. I worked in game development for many years. I know how difficult it can be to manage a game, let alone just build the game in general. Just to make the product and put it out there. Many indie devs are jam-packed full of these great ideas. Sometimes they're forced to work alone on them, and it can be really hard for them to release the game. So to be able to put the product out at all and then have this good of a reception from a what I would think is a loyal, faithful fan base, I mean, it's got to feel amazing. It's probably one of the reasons that's pushing them to work so hard, is because so many people have shown up for Sulfur. So many people are also waiting for Sulfur, console enjoyers. I would love to know when they're going to get their hands on it. That would be some key information. I would guess probably around or after 1.0, if I had to guess. I mean, hopefully not. I don't know for sure. There's still a lot of things up in the air. They like to keep us on our toes, but they're also keeping us fed. The bowls are full, and we're getting stuff when we can, but we still want more. Deep Woods is heavily anticipated. What I'm trying to get at is I'm overdramatic, all right? I'm a giant goofball, and I like to have fun and play everything up and act over-emotional just because I can, when in reality, it was more of a joke on the fact that I had to come up with things to talk about last week, and I wasn't actually mad at them. I was just like, I felt a little bit on the spot. It was good. It was a good learning experience for me, because I had to adjust, think of things I could talk about. Whether or not you like that is fine, because, you know, I wanted to do something. I wanted to start the conversation every week, as I did with this week and the 2 weeks prior to that, but I meant no ill will towards them. And I think Sulfur is in a great spot, and it can only go up from here, and I'm still playing it every day, so I won't get too crazy into that. I may have got you on the hook a little bit when I said I talked to the devs. I did. All that is totally true. I'm not going to be showing the DMs from what I said, but I will put it up on the monitor. I guess I could put it right here because, I mean, you can't really see it. I will read some of it, but I don't feel comfortable totally showing DMs of any without asking permission. I don't feel comfortable about that. But it was in regards to a comment I got from the legend, Dookie Booty. He said that he saw a community post on Steam about Deep Woods coming out in 3 weeks, and I got really excited because I was like, oh, wow. And I asked, hey, could you find that community post? He said he might have been high or it could have been a dream because he couldn't find it again, so I took the initiative to just reach out to one of the devs. I'm not going to say who because I don't think everyone should be bombarding them with messages. I had already talked to them in the past and explained who I was and everything. Don't bother them too much. Obviously, you could go to the Sulfur Discord. I'm not going to talk about this the whole time and ask questions there. There are places for it, but I didn't want to like plug my comment section or any of my videos. I don't want to do that in the Sulfur Discord. It feels weird to me. I don't know why. I'm never like the type to like push myself out in front of people, and I don't know. I just kind of wanted... Why am I like that? Maybe I should have done that. But either way, I sent them the screenshot of the comment, and I said, hey, I saw this comment. Was there a post on Steam about Deep Woods dropping in 3 weeks? That's verbatim. Myself and many others are very excited for it. LOL. I dropped a lol on the devs, all right? This was a very loose and friendly conversation, which it always is, because they're all like totally normal, super cool people. They just somehow have the Midas touch when it came to the game development. I'm telling you, if you guys just someone just gave them Bethesda Studios and let them like cook on the next Fallout or Elder Scrolls, it would be like the greatest game of all time. I mean that, and I hold Fallout and Elder Scrolls in the highest regard. But these guys, they got a knack for it, man. They're super cool and super good at it. They got the Midas touch, but they're also down to earth. Why am I repeating myself? What am I doing? I need this. That's what I need. That's the key ingredient. And in response, he basically just said, no, we haven't made an announcement date yet. So there's no date announced. But as you saw in the patch notes, it does say coming soon. I mean, that's better than nothing. I know that's not the lengthiest conversation. We also talked about some other stuff. Once again, I'm not going to get into that because I did not ask them if it was cool. Hey, can I put this in my video? I'm not going to do that. None of it was bad. None of it was negative. One of the things was a little scary because I'll be honest. They came at me and they were like, hey, I was looking for you. And I was like, what's that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean you were looking for me? So there, I spoiled it a little bit, but just seeing coming soon on there is more than what we've gotten. So that's what's got me so excited. That means it's coming soon. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. They could have said, we're working hard on it. That doesn't look as good. Coming soon makes me think, I don't know, within a month? That's the optimist in me. I wouldn't be shocked if the next update or patch happened to be Deep Woods, but I don't want to put that out there and make it seem like I know something. I don't know anything. I legitimately don't know anything about when Deep Woods is coming. I really want it, man. So bad. I want to see what they're going to do. Like, are they going to add new game mechanics? Maybe. I mean, there's definitely going to be new guns, new enemies, new armor. Like, I can't wait. That update also did some other things to Sulfur that I think are mighty interesting. They changed some things in the dev kit. I don't want to say what quite yet because I have a video I'm going to do with it, and I'm dropping a little hint. It would be, if you could figure it out, the thing that they changed with DevKit, if you figured that out, you might already know what I'm going to be doing. You can even guess in the comments, and if you could guess it right, I'll tell you what it is. I hope to do it very soon. I do need to finish the Soulflock, though. I was hoping to do it today, but I kind of ran out of time. I got information from someone DM'd me on Discord and said, hey, I think they made Cousin one-tappable again with the latest patch, and the patch prior to that, you could one-tap him with Frostbite, but the information they were giving me sounded like you could do it with any shotgun chisel or any shotgun, make a one-tappable gun, so I made sure to get in there right before this, and I kind of got obsessed. I'm a little obsessive sometimes. It's the ADHD. I zoned in on it. I probably could have done the Soulflock, but instead I spent 40 minutes goofing around with Cousin, seeing what worked, what didn't work. I was able to get any shotgun chiseled gun to one-tap him, and then also the Arbiter with the 50 BMG will also one-tap it, but that thing was doing like 17,000 damage. That thing was nuts. That would one-tap anybody, even me, and I am beyond power. there's no word to describe what I'm capable of. I guess insanity. I guess insanity would be the word to describe it, if you gotta put a label. That's the thing with Sulfur updates. They always put extra stuff in there that's not in the patch notes. You kind of just have to find out on your own. I mean, they may have put something about the cousin thing. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't have the patch notes right in front of me. If they did, I'll put it on the screen, and you and me can both enjoy me eating shit for saying they didn't put something in about it. But the other thing with the dev kit, I don't know why they would mention that to anyone. It's very small. Don't even try to guess it, because it's so small and weird, and it's just perfect timing, though. It's like something I'm very happy to see. All in all, with the update, I think if they would have called it the durability update, I would have been a little bit, I don't know. I saw it at, I want to say 9 a.m. I was going to wake my son up from his nap. I saw on my Steam, Sulfur update paused. I took a shit in my pants, cleaned myself up, came back in, updated the game, and then I had to wait like 7 or 8 hours. So that's where my imagination started going crazy. We even had conversations in the Discord, my Discord, which is the TMU. You could join it on the like YouTube channel page in the under more info. You can join the Discord, have conversations about Sulfur and other wacky stuff, like people getting hacked. A lot of people are getting hacked on Steam and Discord lately. It's actually kind of scary. Don't ever click on any links that someone sends you, even if you know them. If the link looks weird, don't do it. Maybe get them in a voice call, or even better, if you can get them in a video call before you go and click on any links, because it's going around right now. There's a bit of a bug with people getting hacked. And I'm sorry, I've seen multiple homies go down from hacking, having to delete, the hackers take everything and they have to restart their Discord Steams. It's tragic. And the day of the patch, we were going crazy because in the patch notes it said something about event chickens. And that was alone was like, oh, it's a freaking Valentine's Day event. And like I said, I had to wait 8 hours before I could even try it. And yeah, there's no event. It's really all about the durability. The love jar is such a small piece to the patch. It's almost not important. It really, I don't know. Still a great patch because the durability buffs were sorely needed, and I'm glad to see those guns get some love, as well as all the little fixes for bugs and stuff everywhere. And I've also noticed hit reg issues and ghost bullets. I haven't been seeing them as much. A couple times with some guns like the Rokua. It's still happening a lot with semi-auto. If you haven't witnessed any of the ghost bullets or hit reg issues, you're lucky. They are happening. I feel like they only started happening after a couple of performance updates, which is really strange. I think we've only had one performance update. I don't know. It was like after that, I started noticing it was semi-auto. You can't really tell with automatic, but yeah, the ghost bullet stuff is still happening, but not as frequently. I don't know what's fixing it. I don't know what's going on there. I don't seem to know much of anything. The one thing I do know is Perfect Random is awesome. They're great devs, very receptive. So if you have complaints about the game, make sure to get them to them, because you might see changes that are going to better the game in the long run, because that's what early access is for. As we know, they plan to go well beyond 1.0, and they want to keep updating Sulfur for years to come. It's up to us to keep letting them know how to make the game better. I mean, obviously, it's their vision. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it, but we can help out. They've shown that. They've proven that. And another game that did that was Marvel Rivals. I don't know if you guys play Marvel Rivals, but I personally love it. I'm like at the door of Grandmaster, and I barely even play it, to be honest. I'm usually pretty busy, but it's really fun. It's like a better version of Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2 is not good. It's like never been good. I'm not here to gush up Marvel Rivals. I just saw something interesting. Instead of doing the rank reset halfway through the week, what they're planning on doing is not doing that, because people complained. And I just love to see that. The more we see game developers care, especially outside of the indie sphere, it's just awesome. Because, I mean, Marvel Rivals is not some dinky little shithead company. I mean, it's like the biggest, what is it, NetEase, like a giant Chinese company or some shit. So they're getting like all the support, but they still care about their players. I gotta rant a little bit because Overwatch 2 burned me from day one. Day one, I was annoyed with the game. And then day 2, week 3, taking out Bastion, all this stuff, taking out Mei, like all these weird things kept piling up, and it got to the point where I didn't enjoy it at all, and I hated it. And now that Marvel Rivals is here, siphoning the player base, just taking them away, and stuff like getting rid of the rank reset, because it was a terrible wonderful idea, and it did ruin ranked for the first few weeks. Getting rid of that, listening to the player base, has made Overwatch start doing stuff, and that's what bothers me, because at this point, it's just pathetic. And I saw like a Reddit post that was saying something about, oh, the people could never be happy. Overwatch does nothing, and people say, do something, and then when they do something, it's just because of Marvel Rivals. Yeah, okay, you can't start giving a shit once you've stepped in shit. You stepped in shit that you made because you live in a house with shit everywhere. I'm never going to get monetized on this channel. Well, I can't stop cursing about it. It is pathetic, frankly, though, for them to, like, start throwing 6v6 back in. Now they're talking about bringing PvE back. It's insane. For all we know, they're going to start giving you money for playing the game. It's dead. Overwatch is dead. Marvel Rivals is a much better experience, and that's the last I'm going to talk about that. I'm sorry. I like to spend some time during the Sulfur Summary to talk about things outside of Sulfur, because I like to support good ideas. I like to rant about things that I care about. I support Marvel Rivals being awesome. Overwatch burned me a bazillion times, and I can never trust them again. You know what I knew would burn me? You know what I purposely stepped into shit that someone else made? I did it on purpose. I put off watching Borderlands for the longest time, and one of the biggest comparisons for Sulfur is Borderlands because of the way the oils work. It's kind of similar to how gun rolls work in Borderlands, in my opinion, and many others' opinions, and also the cel-shaded art style. It does have a bit of a Borderlands feel. I've always loved Borderlands, and when the movie stuff started coming out, I made videos on it on my other channel. It wasn't good. It wasn't what I wanted. Jack Black is Claptrap. I hate that. I've hated that since day one. I wanted to give Kevin Hart a shot at Roland. No, I don't know why I did that. But I finally today pulled the trigger on watching the Borderlands movie, and my goodness, did that suck. I haven't even got on my Letterboxd app yet to give it a 0.5 out of 5. What the hell? If Sulfur ever gets a movie, please don't let some asshole who's never played the game do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, the whole thing was just frustrating. But they didn't even shoot guns until like 50 minutes in. That's the big thing about Borderlands, is all the guns. That's always been what the marketing is. I'm not sure what pissed off a lot of people about the Borderlands movie, but that really pissed me off to not have the guns be the star of the show, because that was always what made people come back and grind for these guns, farm for these guns, and they barely had a presence in the damn movie. I mean, the whole thing was bad, but that was enough to really upset me. And then the action scenes where they actually used the guns were stupid. I remember there was one where, like, Lilith and Tiny Tina were walking backwards shooting, and you just see them walking backwards shooting, talking, and it's like, not interesting. We're in 2025. If you're going to make an action scene where people are shooting other people, I mean, we got John Wick like a decade ago. Every single gunshot was important. It was a cool scene when he shot somebody. I mean, it's an action movie. I don't know. If the action scenes are that lazy and boring, fuck it, dude. It was what, PG-13 for Borderlands? Come on, bro. And all you did was a bunch of poop jokes. I mean, I've made so many poop jokes in this video, but I have never pretended to poop, act like I'm pooping, which Claptrap does like 6 times in an hour and a half. 6 times. Oh god. But I don't want to end on a sour note. I did not like the Borderlands movie. As a Borderlands fan, I did not like it. Video game movies have been much better. Detective Pikachu is a 5 out of 5, 100% amazing time in my opinion. I know not everybody's like me, but live action Pokemon is something I've always wanted. That is my idea of a great video game movie. I have not played Detective Pikachu the game. I asked for it for Christmas a couple years ago. Didn't get my hands on it. I guess they didn't want to give a full-grown man Detective Pikachu on my Switch. So I have to insist on saying something nice about something else, and that's Holy Shoot. I played Holy Shoot yesterday, which would be 2 days before the Susu, because I record this on Saturday. So if anything happens tomorrow that's extra important, I'll put that in the end. You know, I'll make sure to get it in there. It's gonna be scary and hectic, but I'll do my best to get it in there if it's like super important. Otherwise, it's gonna have to wait till next week. I've mentioned this a few times. If you followed the Susu, the Sulfur Summary, you know that Holy Shoot is a brand new roguelite that is kind of similar to Sulfur, more similar to RoboQuest. I don't want to get into that. I mean, the gun designs and the UI are almost identical, which was a little strange, but it was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun. It has an addicting charm to it. It's like a super fast-paced, almost like arena shooter. It feels like what I've seen, like Quake. I've never played Quake, really. I played Quake Champions for 40 minutes on somebody's laptop. That's about it. So I don't really know, but it kind of gave me that vibe, like really straight, open arenas that are smaller, that require you to move around a lot. It still looked a little bit like Sulfur with its art style and the fact that the devil's in it. He's got a chipone or chuppy or a binky or a pacifier around his neck. He's like a rave guy in this game. And I kind of enjoy it. I mean, I did enjoy it. I almost said kind of enjoy it. I really did like it. I think it's gonna go places, and I think the dev team seems like they care. They revamped all the UI and everything. So if you want to check that out, make sure to do so, because I did put a video out on it. And if you're always looking for new games, there is a demo available for that game. Everything else is not released yet. The devs seem to actually care. They talked with me in emails for a while, and they seemed really nice, and they wanted to push the demo a bit. Check it out. If you like what you saw me playing, definitely get in there and give it a shot, because we gotta support indie devs. That's what we're doing with Sulfur. We have to branch outside and do that with other games from time to time too, because we can't depend on Sulfur to be our only video game content at all times, unless you don't have a whole lot of time. Totally understand. I don't have a lot of time. You can't just support Marvel Rivals. I mean, no. That's silly. They don't need your support. It's fun. It's a really fun game, but I'm just rambling at this point. I love indie games, and I have mentioned before that I'm going to play games that aren't Sulfur sometimes. Don't worry, though. That doesn't mean I'm not going to play Sulfur anymore. I've seen a couple people be like, oh, so no more Sulfur, eh? No, it's always going to be Sulfur. Unless the devs purposely dox me and send people to my house to murder me, then I'm always in game. I think I have to say that. In Minecraft in game, unless they do something like that, they can't make me stop loving them. Or if they like monetize my playtime, if it's like an hour, $10 an hour or something, there's some things that would have to be completely out of reality that would make me stop loving Sulfur. So whenever you see me upload some new games, some recommendations, some things that you guys wanted me to play, it's not that I'm leaving Sulfur. I'll never leave. You can't get rid of me. And you YouTube enjoyers out there, you can't get rid of me either. I'm not going to stop. Not that anyone's asking me to. I don't know why they would. That'd be very strange. But if you have any recommendations for roguelites, extraction shooters, or anything that you think I might like, let me know. That's how I got into Witchfire. Get real high pitch there. I'm in a weird, goofy mood. I can't even find a way to end this. What is that? Who's that? What's up?
Go outside real quick.
Go outside for what?
I saw the gray mama cat. Maybe the baby's with it?
Oh, okay. That's a good way to end this video. She's talking about, like, a month ago, I went to take out the trash, and there was a kitty, like a kitten, that came up to me and rubbed on my leg, and then let me pick it up. And I brought it to the front door, and I was like, wifey, come here. There's a kitten in my arms. And then she said we couldn't keep it, and I was like, we're gonna regret this. Because she was right, though. We have 4 cats. But we did regret it. We were like, shit, that was a cute little kitten, and we didn't keep it. And the weirdest thing was, like, 2 weeks before that, I was taking out the trash. Everything happens when I'm taking out the trash. And I'm walking to the door, and I hear this running up to me. A friggin' pit bull approaches me. Like a giant, full-size pit bull approaches me, and then puts his face up to my door, the screen door, and breathes onto it, and I'm like, oh my god, I almost died. I was like scared, because this is a pit bull. I own a pit bull. Y'all know I love my pits. And I was like, that dog was gunning for me. Turns out it was lost. We took it inside, had it overnight, found its owners by morning, tried to guess its name. I think we ended up on Coco or something, because we were like saying all these names at it. It was Sativa. The dog's name was Sativa. I was like, not Indica? Nah, but it was... No one could have guessed that. It was super weird. But I'm going to go see if that kid's out there. I'll see you guys soon. I got so many Sulfur videos and other stuff. I got another game I might be showing off. And Witchfire. Don't forget Witchfire Wednesdays. Okay, I got to go. I got to go check the kitty. Okay, so something did happen after I finished recording, or maybe before. I don't check Twitter often enough, but I'm going to start doing it now because Sulfur put out a tweet, a response tweet to somebody saying, are you guys currently working on a multiplayer? No pressure, of course. I'm just curious. And then Sulfur said, no. That's not what you wanted to hear, I know that. After more areas, bosses, and guns have been finished, and we have released 1.0 Sulfur to consoles, then maybe if we can afford it. So that means a couple of things. Right there it says after we've released 1.0 Sulfur to consoles, so they're probably going to try to put Sulfur on consoles before any finishing of the roadmap, which is great, because as you know, consoles is not on the roadmap. Then somebody said, well, they said, and for now, how many wish lists and sales? They said 110,000 sold, 300,000 wish lists. That means they're 90,000 off of the sales. I think if they hit the 90,000, they can afford it. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope for multiplayer. If we never get it, it's fine. It's an amazing single player game. Multiplayer is not going to make it worse. It'll make it better, but it's also going to stay amazing no matter what. I mean, I guess it could make it worse if all of their time and effort went into that. I'd rather them just focus on what we have in front of us and making the single player experience the best that it can be, and then we'll worry about multiplayer, whatever it is, co-op, PvP, team deathmatch, whatever they want to do. I'll support them because they're making great games. That's just factual. If I was a little yellow, it's because I'm wearing a purple shirt, so made me look a little Breaking Bad Mexico on you. Now, goodbye. I promise you this should be the final ending to this video, but as I was trying to make the thumbnail for the video, I had an idea to put the loading screen in the thumbnail. Now I guess I'm going to have to stick with that. I went into dev mode, loaded into the Deep Woods area, because you can find it in dev mode. I can show you, and you can actually see the loading screen and everything, but then something happened. Now, I've been in the Deep Woods loading screen before. This has never happened. They have added the music to at least one level of Deep Woods. I don't know if it's going to play the same music again. I know Caves has multiple songs, Town has multiple songs, but we're going to listen to it right now. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn my mic off, and the last of this video will just be the Deep Woods song that I found. I feel like I stumbled across something I definitely shouldn't have. I feel like a bad boy. But I can't help but share it. I need to go to dinner, and like, my wife is probably waiting for me, and I'm doing this. But I had to share it. I'm really excited. Now, check this out.